Okay, welcome to this course, Designing Logos with Illustrator. It's a beginners to advanced course. More for beginners, but advanced users might get a little bit of insight into it as well. So the first thing I've done on my desktop is I've created a folder where all our content will be. And our subject is a frothy coffee brand, which we've got a brief for. So within the frothy coffee folder, we've got a brief folder, we've got a logo and design, and we've got reference folder. So obviously the brief will go in there from the client, whether you've written that up, got an email, or had a telephone conference and then written down the brief notes, they'll go in there. All my logo and stage work will go in logo and design, and any references that I've got will go in the reference folder. This tutorial video folder is not needed for you, it's just where I'm putting all these tutorial folders for this course. So let's first go into the brief folder and have a look at our brief notes. So if we open this up, we can see that we've got the frothy coffee, which is the brand. This is the label that we're going to call the logo, and brand name frothy coffee. So design brief is a new logo for frothy coffee. We want to keep this simple and for it to be used on merchandise as well. So the client really likes the Costa logo and Starbucks logo. So if they can resemble it in any way, that would be good. This logo needs to be used on different coloured backgrounds, so we need to bear that in mind. So maybe to put an outer stroke around the logo so that it can stand out on lots of different backgrounds might be an idea. It's going to be used for different merchandise. Needs to be resizable, very big if he's using it for things like promotional banners or those sort of things, exhibition stands. So again, Illustrator is superb because it uses vectors. And the thing about this is vectors can be resized to any size at all and not lose any quality, unlike images that will pixelate if they're blown up too big, unless they're created at the size. So that's brilliant for Illustrator. So fonts he's put here, might be nice to have his own font, his custom font, or something slightly modified. So we'll use a slightly modified. I'm not going to get into creating custom fonts. I might do another course on that at some stage, but we're just going to basically modify the font slightly to make it a little bit more customized and save ourselves a lot of time. So side notes, he's going to be bringing out a series of related products such as muffins, cakes. So the design needs to be able to be adapted for those and still be recognizable as the frothy coffee brand. So down here further now we've got technical notes. Now what he's telling us here is a little bit of information about the actual coffee itself, and he said that he's using a mix of Brazilian and Java Arabica beans in all his coffees, 50-50 mix. So the characteristics of these coffee brands is a Brazilian is a medium, mild, dry, spicy, sweet and lingering taste, whereas the Java bean has got the high exotic, mellow, smooth, musty, smoky and winey feel about it. And he's given down here a little bit about the bean quality and stuff, that he doesn't use Robusta beans, which are of a lower quality than the Arabic beans. So a little bit of info there. His output, he wants the vectored artwork to be in RGB or at least colour samples of RGB and CMYK. He hasn't given us any Pantone references, but I will show you how you can grab Pantone references from Illustrator and use those for any colours, so that you've got Pantone references if you need to. But we'll be creating our colours on the fly, maybe from the Pantone books, and making sure that we supply an RGB and a CMYK version for final output. Okay, so that's really about the brief. So I would say if you're unsure, if the client has sent you an email or you've talked on the phone or met or written down notes and you're unsure of anything, you should really make sure that you speak and find out all the information that you need from the client before you do the work. You don't want later on for him to have left out that he wants to use it on different merchandise and the logo doesn't become adaptable for those kind of things. So it's really important to get all the information from the client as thoroughly as you possibly can. This can save you tons of time later down the road. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the brief notes from the client.